In today's video, we're talking drones, and more specifically, the Air 2S. Let's get to it. What's up everybody and welcome to TopShelf Media. So today we're taking a look at the Air 2S by DJI. And my goal with this video is that by the end of it you have the knowledge to be able to make a decision on whether or not this drone is right for you. So in this video we'll be looking at the drone, the controller, and the app. So let's start with the drone. The Air 2S is a small sized drone that folds up to fit inside of a bag. The bag I have here comes with the Fly More combo pack and everything fits in here pretty well. This drone has a 1-inch sensor and can shoot 5.4K up to 30 frames per second, as well as 4K, 2.7K, and 1080 up to 60 frames per second. There's also a 120 frames per second slow-mo option when you're navigating through the app. The Air 2S also has a gimbal cover that you need to make sure you remove before flying. The propellers can also be removed if you need to replace one. This drone does use two types of propellers in order to fly, so make sure you're replacing it with the correct one. One big difference from this drone's predecessor, the Mavic Air, is that the battery is now located on the top of the drone. To remove, you just press the two buttons on the side and pull up. And when putting on a new battery, make sure you listen for a click. The front of the Air 2S has the gimbal as well as 4 sensors, 2 facing forwards and 2 angled up. There are also 2 sensors on the rear and 2 on the bottom as well. The bottom also has a landing light that can be set to automatically come on in low light landing situations. This drone also comes with ND filters, and you can put those on by first removing the stock filter from the front of the camera by rotating counterclockwise and pulling it off. Then, the ND filter can be put on just by doing the opposite. So as far as the controller goes, the Air 2S will use the DJI Smart Controller, but I found that it's a little pricey. I'll put a link down in the description to it if you want to check it out, as well as a link to this drone and the Fly More combo pack if you want to go check that out. But I'm actually using the included controller because I think it actually is kind of nice. I personally like it better than the Mavic Air controller. I just think it fits in my hands way better, and I like having my phone on the top of the controller. The joysticks are stored at the bottom of the controller by the USB Type-C port used for charging. On the front of the controller you have the flight controls as well as a power button, which is pretty self-explanatory, the flight mode switch, the return to home button, a function button that can be set to do a number of different tasks, and a camera swap button. With the flight mode switch you can actually choose to fly in Cine, Normal, and Sport mode. In normal mode, everything will function as normal. In Cine mode, the drone speed will be reduced in order to get smoother shots, and in sports mode allows the drone to fly faster. For me, I like to start off with my drone in sports mode. That way I can get to the location of my first shot faster and not waste battery life getting to that first location. And then when I get to that location and I'm ready to start shooting, I'll switch it over to Cine mode. At the top of the controller, you have the record or take photo button and a wheel that allows you to control the tilt of the gimbal. Okay, now we're going to look at the app, but let's go outside to do that. Alright, so now we're at probably one of my favorite places to fly the drone, and that's Palisades State Park right outside of Mount Vernon, Iowa. And I'm just going to take it up here and kind of show you guys what the app looks like. It's probably better than looking at it in my apartment where you're just going to be staring at my wall the whole time. But we're going to take it up, just do a quick overview of the app. I'm not going to go into depth. If you want something more in-depth on the app for this drone, let me know down in the comments and I'll get a video out. But let's get this thing up in the air. So when I turn on the controller with my phone already plugged in, it'll automatically launch the DJI Fly app for me. So this is the home screen of the app. Two most important things on this screen is the Go Fly button and your update button. So if you have any updates that are required to be able to fly the drone, it'll pop up there and tell you need to update them before the drone will fly. Luckily, this firmware update doesn't need to be updated for the drone to fly, so let's go ahead and Go Fly. So then this is the screen that you come to during your main flight. This is your main flight screen. So this allows you to see the camera on the drone as well as all the information that you will see, that you need to see during your flight. So if I hit this takeoff permitted, it'll bring up my pre-flight check, which I can set my return to home altitude. So if I hit the return to home button, and let's say I'm flying around here, I have trees and stuff around here, and I want to make sure that it goes above those trees before it tries to fly back home, I can set my altitude to a couple hundred feet, so I make sure I'm past those trees and it'll get back home without running into a tree. Same thing, if I look down there, I can set my max altitude and max distance, so I can set how far away I want it to be able to go from me. Also, I can set up how high I want it to go, just in case you're in somewhere that, at 400 feet or 700 feet you have a restricted area, you can make sure that you're not going into that restricted area. Okay, so on screen here you can see where there's different modes. You have your how long you've been recording for, you can have it return to home, as well as a number of other things. Like I said, we're not going to go too deep into this, but what I wanted to point out is you have where it says N mode there, I can switch that on the remote. So if I go to the remote and I switch it to Cine, it'll change it to C mode, or I can change it to Sport, and it'll change it to Sport mode, which turns off the obstacle avoidance, as you can see on the right hand side of the screen here, where that icon has turned red. That means it's turned off obstacle avoidance, so all the sensors are turned off. Then I can see my battery life, which is that circle with the green number in it. That's my battery life, as well as my RC, so how good my connection is from the controller to the drone, as well as the number of satellites. Now I'm connected to 22 satellites, which is awesome. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, we're not diving deep into the app here. I just wanted to take it up quick. So I think this is a great drone. Now I wish they would have put side sensors on it for obstacle avoidance, but other than that, it's hard for me to find things that I don't like about this drone. Now it does come in at $1,300, so it is pricey, it is pretty expensive, but I believe I've been getting about 25 minutes of battery life on one battery, so I'm loving that. I also tried out the tracking mode while I was out at the Palisades, and it seems to work pretty well. I was really pleased with how well it was able to pass through these trees without any real issues. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Oh, by the way, I might be lacking as far as new videos go in the next couple weeks. My wife and I are hopefully closing on a house in 2 weeks, and we're moving out of our apartment. So with moving and renovations, I might be MIA for a while, but I promise I will be back, hopefully with a new office/studio space. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell to get notified when I post new content. If you like this video and you want to see more videos from me, go check out my channel or click on that video right there that YouTube thinks you'll like. Whatever you're doing today, I hope you crush it, and I will see you in the next video.